It's been a month since the OnePlus 8T was announced, and you may have seen early reviews on it already, some with early software builds and early impressions, but OnePlus pushed out a couple of software updates in the last few weeks that includes bug fixes, performance updates, and camera improvements. So how's the phone holding up a month after its release? The OnePlus 8T is a really interesting device in 2020. From its specs to its price, there's a lot of great things about this phone, but there's also some things that make you question why they chose to not include certain features. So if you're not fully caught up with the OnePlus 8T, this is the successor to the OnePlus 8, which launched earlier in 2020 with the OnePlus 8 Pro, which in my opinion is easily one of the best Android smartphone in 2020. But the 8T isn't quite that, and we'll get to why in a bit. Now, one of the biggest things that I noticed with this device is just how great the device felt. It feels really premium, it uses a combination of glass and metal, and in my opinion feels way better than the 8 Pro due to its flat display. Now, I have the lunar silver color here, which looks amazing and features a semi-matte finish, which doesn't feel as slippery and not as fingerprinty as the glossy variant. But if you're looking to spice things up, you can always apply a skin from our channel sponsor dbrand, which makes the best and most precise skins for your brand new smartphone, including the OnePlus 8T. Now, one of my favorite series from their lineup would have to be their teardown skins, and a close second are their new pastel skins. So if you have the lunar silver OnePlus 8T, all the skins that they offer will match really well with your phone. So if you want to go ahead and pick your own set of skins up, check out the first link down below or go to dbrand.com/heymarkel. So inside the 8T are flagship specs. It's using Qualcomm Snapdragon 865, 12 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of UFS 3.1 storage, as well as a 4500 mAh battery that's capable of charging up to 65 watts using Warp Charge, which, by the way, is included in the box. Alright, so the OnePlus 8T features a 6.5-inch AMOLED display that features 120Hz refresh rate and a flat display, versus the curved display we have from the 8 Pro. Now, I'm a fan of this because it's a lot easier to use the phone one-handed, and it also helps eliminate weird ghost touches if you're reaching from one side of the screen to the other with your thumb. Also, the fact that the phone is slightly shorter than the 8 Pro makes it more user-friendly, which I'm a fan of. Now, when it comes to performance and day-to-day usage, the 8T is just a beast. It's what you'd expect from a flagship device in 2020. It's really fast, the animations are really fluid, and there are no app crashes or lag when switching between apps. The 120Hz refresh rate really helps speed things up, and the Snapdragon 865 processor isn't slowing down anytime soon. Now, if you're a mobile gamer, the 8T is a great phone to game on due to the high touch response rate, the new haptic motor, which in my opinion is different from the 8 Pro. It just feels stronger and more refined. Plus, the stereo speakers on this phone sound great, and you can really tell where the footsteps are coming from if you're playing COD or PUBG. Now, over the past month, I've been using the 8T. The battery seems to be holding up really well. I'm mostly on social media apps or watching YouTube videos, and I can easily get 6 to 7 hours of screen on time, even if I'm pushing the phone a little bit more than usual. Obviously, how you use your phone will impact battery life differently, so let me know how yours is running a month after using the 8T. One downside with the 8T though is the lack of wireless charging. Unfortunately, OnePlus decided it just wasn't worth including in the 8T, but I would have been happy with something slower, like a 15 watt or 12 watt for that matter. The fact that it doesn't have wireless charging may be a deal breaker for a lot of people, and as someone who uses wireless charging every single day, this is a key feature for me, and I'm really disappointed that it's not here. Now, if it's not a big deal for you, the 65-watt charger that comes in a box can charge your phone up to 60% in just 15 minutes, which is really incredible. But as someone who always has access to wireless chargers, from my office to my car to my house, it would have been nice to have wireless charging on the 8T. Alright, so last but not least, let's talk about the cameras. Cameras in smartphones are really important to me. Even if I don't take photos every day, but knowing that I have a phone that can take really good photos, it's just nice to have that. OnePlus have always had solid cameras on their phones, but it's never reached that Pixel or iPhone camera level just yet. So with that being said, the photos that you can get out of the 8T are good, but not as good as I'd hope. I still think the 8 Pro has a slight advantage due to the fact that it's using a custom Sony IMX689 sensor versus the Sony IMX586 sensor on this 8T, which they've actually used before for the 7T, with the 7 Pro, and the OnePlus 8. The ultra-wide looks similar to the 8 Pro, although the 8T can technically shoot slightly wider better than the 8 Pro, but photos are still not that good due to the image processing. I think the white balance, the colors, and sharpness are often muddy and could use some work. Now, in terms of low light or night mode, I think it's just okay. One thing I did notice on the AT though are weird HDR processing in low light. Take a look at these 2 random photos that I shot inside my apartment. There are weird artifacts around the orange light, plus the background on the left photo looks a little bit glitched out with green highlights, so I'm just not really sure what's going on here, but just know that HDR processing is a no-go. I just wouldn't trust it if you need to shoot in little to no light. And yeah, that's the OnePlus AT 1 month later. It's an amazing phone for the price. It's 5G ready. It has a 120Hz display, great battery life with super fast charging, and a reasonable $750 price tag. Now, if you don't care about having the best of the best camera or wireless charging, this is totally the way to go if you're set on the OnePlus brand. Now, obviously, there are way more brands and phones out there that are in this price range that, in my opinion, are better in certain categories. But if you're a big OnePlus fan, then this is a great choice for you if you don't have the extra money to shell out on the 8 Pro.